Hello everyone, my name is Tarasha Stewart. I will be talking about the TED Talk that I viewed today. It is about how childhood trauma affects health across a lifetime by Nadine Harris. And excuse me because I have to keep looking up because I had to type out what I wanted to say so it would be shorter, because if not, it would have been very long. In her talk, Dr. Harris argues that childhood trauma, specifically experiences captured by the Adverse Childhood Experiences or ACEs framework, doesn't just remain a psychological issue. Instead, she explains that early adversity can alter developmental processes in the brain and body, including stress system functioning, immune and hormonal regulation, and overall long-term disease risk. I agree with her. Central message. The evidence she presents supports the idea that toxic stress can produce lasting biological and health outcomes, and that this should be treated as a public health priority. Where I think my biopsychosocial perspective adds to her discussion is in emphasizing the psychological pathways that translate early adversity into long-term outcomes. Dr. Harris provides the biological how. For example, how repeated activation of the stress response system can become maladaptive over time. My addition is that the biopsychosocial model also requires us to consider the psychological mechanism that develop during and after trauma. For example, when children grow up in threatening or unpredictable environments, they often learn to interpret the world as unsafe. Over time, that learning can shape patterns of threat appraisal, emotion regulation, coping strategies such as hypervigilance, avoidance, or difficulties with self-soothing. Those psychological adaptations may help a child survive in the moment, but later they can contribute to persistent anxiety, depression, and reduced engagement in health-promoting behaviors. This matters clinically because it suggests that preventing long-term harm isn't only about medical monitoring and multidisciplinary care, though I fully support those components. It also means that mental health screening and trauma-informed psychological interventions should be integrated into treatment plans. If a person has both a chronic health condition and an ACE history, addressing only symptoms from a medical standpoint may not fully reduce risk. Treating the body without addressing trauma-related stress patterns and barriers to consistent self-care may limit outcomes. So my overall rebuttal is simple. I agree with Dr. Burt that ACEs are embodied and have lifelong health consequences. But I want to highlight that a biopsychosocial approach is what helps us interpret the pathway from early adversity to lifelong impairment. Psychology helps us understand and treat the behavioral and emotional mechanisms through which toxic stress continues to affect a person's functioning across the lifespan. In short, Dr. Harris helps establish the biological foundation. My contribution is reinforcing that recovery and prevention require biopsychosocial intervention, because health across the lifespan is shaped by the body, the mind, and the environment working together. Thank you.